One of the common misunderstandings about Buddhism is that Buddha said life is suffering. Now, one can think, why Buddha speaks about suffering? Why Buddha is so pessimistic? Isn't there anything to be happy about life? There are happy experiences that we gain in life. Why Buddha can't speak about this? Now, this confusion happens when the Pali word dukkha, which is the first noble truth, is translated to English. The most common translation for dukkha, the word dukkha, is suffering. From this, one can think, okay, the Buddha says life is suffering. But when the Buddha used this word dukkha in his first noble truth, Buddha meant something profound and deep. Yes, dukkha can be understood as suffering in a more superficial meaning, but it has a more deeper meaning when the Buddha used this word in his context. So I want to show you from this video what actually Buddha meant by when he said life is dukkha. In his book, Noble Truth, Noble Path, Venerable Bhikkhu Bodhi mentioned about this as follows, I quote, Buddha drew this word out from its original context and gave it a deeper significance, using it to highlight the inescapably flawed, deficient, and unsatisfactory nature of sentient beings. Now, when you consider this point of view, we can understand that not only painful experiences, but also all the experiences has this inherent nature of impermanence and also inherent nature of unsatisfactoriness. Now, by this, Buddha did not mean that life is a total misery. Buddha also speaks about happinesses and joys that we can achieve in this life. We've talked about this in a video. We've talked about the 4 types of happinesses that Buddha teaches us to achieve in life as a householder. Now, Buddha saw that there is happiness in life, there is these happy experiences in life, there are these painful experiences in life, and also there are these neutral experiences in life. But when you take a closer look at all these experiences, be it a happy experience, be it a painful experience, be it a neutral experience, all of these experiences has one thing in common, one nature in common, and that is these experiences are subject to change. They become impermanent. And as they are fleeting and as they are transient, these experiences cannot give a person a complete satisfaction, right? Because we experience these feelings and experiences, and we think this will last forever. But the true nature of every experience is that it is subjected to change. As it is subjected to change, it doesn't give you the fullest satisfaction. When you are not satisfied with that experience, there is suffering, right? Always unsatisfaction is something that is missing in your life, right? In everyone's life, in every human being's life, when you take a closer look at the person's life, there is something that is missing in life. We think, I wish I had that. I wish I had this, right? I wish I could do that and this. This unsatisfied nature is what makes the suffering. So the Buddha mentioned this in his sutras, but the Buddha said, Yada niccang tan dukkhang. What is impermanent is suffering. So the suffering doesn't occur just because of the painful feelings, because it occurs because our mind, our lives are not satisfied with these experiences. We think when we experience a happy feeling, okay, a pleasurable feeling, we think this experience will last forever. But the inherent nature of that experience is that it is changing, right? It becomes impermanent. When we experience a painful experience, what happens to us? We think this will last forever. But the nature of this is it will become impermanent, right? So There's a nice quote that I read recently about this suffering. It says, impermanence doesn't make us suffering. Wanting things to be permanent when the inherent nature of everything is impermanent is what makes us suffering, right? So wanting things to be permanent is what we call the cause of suffering. The Buddha understood the cause of suffering as tanha. Tanha can be translated into English. One of the closest translation to tanha is the thirst, right? That means there is this unsatisfied nature. When you consider the word thirst, it has this nature of unsatisfied nature, looking for something, yearning for something, right? So understand that when the Buddha used the word dukkha, he did not only refer to these physical unpleasant feelings, but he used this word to give you an idea about this unsatisfied nature of all these experiences. So it is much better to learn the word dukkha as it is and learn it and use it without translating and understand the meaning behind it. So I hope you got some idea about the word dukkha and what actually the Buddha meant by the word dukkha. So I wish you all, may all of you be able to realize the Four Noble Truths in this life. Namo Buddhaya.